Good, hello, welcome to WillPower Recap. Today I'm going to try doing it a little bit differently. Going to try going live, sort of, commentating on things as they happen. I'm going to be making a hedge maze themed level. What will the pieces be? We'll find out. This is the tile guide. You may have seen it before if you've seen other ones. So, let's get started. Maybe with some vines. I'll just see what vines look like. I'll need a new palette. Lots of green colors. Yeah, that's nice. Perhaps I can layer them. That works, that's alright, but how am I going to tile it? Let's see, make a duplicate of each one as a bit of a backup. And then, easiest way to do that, let's try trimming off all four corners. Then copying, pasting and flipping it, lining it up like that. This is a standard method, but it's very kaleidoscopy and a little bit too obvious. When the center of the kaleidoscope is placed right in the very, very middle. That will tile very easily, and it's kind of a nice pattern, but it doesn't look very organic now, does it? Interestingly, the wider pattern is quite interesting. Could put eyes in there. Maybe I should just roll with it and have some sort of vine jungle that's made out of eyes, and it's all one big planty organism. So if I split it up into squares and bring it down onto here, golly, that's a lot of vectors. Now it should just be a matter of trimming. Wait, faster way to trim. Most certainly. If I select everything and flatten it, like a good old flash vector, I should now just select in one big old clump. Vines tied and tiled. How am I going to make an eyeball? Yes, eyeball layer. Set to white, layered between the vines. How big should this one be? That small bit, or perhaps all the way out to here? Oh, no, that's ugly. I'm being careless. Let's go in and do it properly. Ooh, look cool how they animate around. That's going to be kind of fun. I guess I'm going to need to mask that to be inside the interior, unless it moves all the way over here. But that's probably a bit much. Yeah, I could make masks for that interior. But at that point, I've been thinking about, should these vines be writhing? Should they move about? Should they be capable of blinking at all? And the way that it's flattened and everything, I may have given myself... Like, that's going to take a while. A real while. Longer than, this entire improvisation session so far. I suppose it may be possible if I keyframe it, then give it a few in between, separate the two densities of vines out. Maybe if the one in the background doesn't move quite as much. Well, that can't be right, because that one, it's all that one. Either way, these patterns are a lot more interesting than I thought. I'm even wondering if it is appropriate for vines, or should they be changed to some sort of maybe marble texture, or be a part of some sort of ornate building. I'll stick with it for now and say that is done. Now it's time for some pathways, some soil throughout the hedge maze. Gonna take a duplicate of the darkest green, tint that to something closer to a brown or a leaf litter color. Fill that in and maybe give it a... It would be good to have an actual path that can move in every direction. Or maybe I could get around it by making some leaf litter that is scattered around the edges of each tile. Give each one a bit of an invisible stroke around one edge and a vein up the middle. Pop a spare up there, and then sort of scatter them about. Doesn't matter if they're going over the edges, because this is going to be placed up against a wall. And every angle could very easily be represented. Just flip it on its side. Have different amounts of edges. That shouldn't take too long to put together. Okay. How many do we end up with? 16 variations in order to cover every wall type. Time for a gate. These locks are likely going to come in a variety of different colors, so I'll add a bit of a glow in the middle so the gate itself can remain black and fit in with the rest of the gardeny aesthetic. Hopefully it won't be too dark against the dirt background. Opening, that's alright. What method would I use? I could have probably just grabbed the whole thing, stretched it out, but I think I'll grab each bar and shift and push it over across to the side, get the top of the gate, stretch it out, and sort of just to do a bit of a tidy up in all the paint and stuff like that. So now, it should come down to animating it, which is going to be a frame-by-frame process. Guess I'll have to get a bunch of these different pieces, sort of segregate them off so I can move them around and get enough movement that it will have a bit of an ease to it as well. Grouping each of the bars is easy enough, so now I can easily grab them and move them around in their entirety, but this middle lock section and middle bar is a bit trickier. Copy and pasting it all onto the overlay layer so I can do a little bit more dissection. To do this operation, I think I'll take each of those pieces, put them onto a different sub-layer temporarily, tidy them up, group them, and for the ones that need to split like this panel, I'll cut it straight down the middle and just go left then right. So now when I select each piece, I can pick up and move each one independently, take all of these pieces and bring them back to the line art sub-layer again. So now I just have a whole bunch of different pieces that I can pick up and shift and move manually to get the best animation that I need. Bit of a fiddly process doing a standard ease where, you know, there's a couple of in-betweens, but then doing in-betweens only on the beginning and the end to help it have a bit of a speed up and slow down. Moving the lock parts around took a little bit, just flipping back and forth a lot until it starts to look right. There we go. Mess with the timing a lot, have some in 3s, some in 2s. There we go. Yeah, I think that's alright. Although it's not till I'm looking at it finished that I'm realizing the gate itself isn't really opening quite wide enough. However, it does ease into a still point here, so having it open even further, I'm going to have to ditch some and then do a little bit more work on it. So I'm going to leave it here for now and perhaps revisit it a bit later. I think I'd like to see this one actually in the game first and how it would function.